the act when defending.
I think it's like
people deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on, Ian. Happy Monday, folks. People deluded. I'm back again. Thank you very much to those of you who are long-term supporters and subscribers. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, you're subscribing, you're turning on the notification bells, you're opening up another tab, people, and you're checking out the rest of the videos. And check out the description for information for all my other socials, people. And now, obviously, if we browse through what's concerning Arsenal on this Monday morning, big up to everyone. Hope you all had a great weekend and hope this week is great for you and your loved ones. Kai Havertz is hoping to make his first appearance for Arsenal this week. Obviously, you know, we've traveled to Germany on Sunday, yesterday, and our first preseason game, in fact, better yet, our second preseason game, because we've just played Watford behind closed doors. Our first one in Germany will be against Nuremberg on Thursday. As you know, we've got a 30-man squad comprising of those who have returned to football training for the preseason preparations and a bunch of young players. As you can see, you know, Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly, two very good players who I feel by the time at 18 will be in Arsenal's first team. I'm not saying they're going to be the biggest and baddest, let them develop, but they've got quality. Obviously, Kai Havertz is integrated in the first team. We hope Timber and Declan Rice, there's progress with that. Havertz and other players who played international games in June only returned to training on Saturday. I'm sure you all saw Bukayo Saka. As a result, they played no part in Arsenal's behind closed doors friendly against Watford on Saturday, which the Gunners drew 1-1. Havertz and other international players such as Bukayo Saka will train with the squad this week, and a decision will be made as to whether they can play on Thursday. The priority has always been for them to feature in Arsenal's tour of USA, which they leave for on Sunday. So we've got a week in Germany this Sunday coming. We then go to America. You'd imagine Balogun's part of that. I'm not too sure on Matt Turner because he's participating in the Gold Cup, and some of you would have seen his penalty heroics and a touching moment where he paid tribute to a young kid who obviously had some health problems. So big up Matt Turner and everybody involved. Arsenal want further new signings in by then and are expected to announce the signings of Declan Rice and Timber this week. The pair underwent medicals last week as Arsenal looks set to take their summer spending over 200 million. Allegedly, Declan Rice has gone back on holiday after cutting his holiday short to complete this phase of the move to Arsenal. I don't know if that's true, but it does say Declan Rice is due more time off as he did not get a break in between the end of the season and England's Euro 2024 qualifiers in June because West Ham were playing in the Europa Conference League final. But he is set, provided that, pardon me, there's no hitch-ups with his move, which you can't imagine there is anyways, people. He will travel with the squad to America. And big up Tomiyasu, who's fit ahead of schedule as well. As we know, Declan Rice and Timber are set to be Gunners players by the start of next week, which obviously this was on the Friday. It's now Monday. Hopefully there's something there. Once again, both the players that I've said in Timber and Declan Rice have undergone medicals. Deals have been agreed with both Ajax and West Ham. Timber's deal is set to be £38 million with add-ons. Granit Xhaka has obviously gone to Bayern Leverkusen for 21.5 million or 21.4 million, as it says here, people. Personal terms for both players have been agreed in principle, and they could be Arsenal players by the start of the week. Probably the calm before the storm. You'd imagine the media stuff is done already. If not, probably that's all that remains, people. Moving on, apparently Timber's brother has leaked his Arsenal's transfer, people, as there's a bit of a farewell party between him and loved ones, and they're using great edits and things like that. So Timber's basically an Arsenal player. You've seen his brother post that, you know, the tour in London, etc. Once again, his deal is set to be confirmed this week, people. So yeah, his older brother has posted a picture at a farewell party in which it said, "Jiren's goodbye party, see you in the streets of London." So hopefully that's formally announced today or by the time this video is done. Moving to Fabrizio Romano and all the other journalist people. Allegedly, firstly, Dean Jones has been speaking about Arsenal's central midfield position. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, I'm conflicted really in terms of what I believe on this front. It's reported widely that Arsenal will immediately go in for another midfielder, but the information I've got is that they weren't going to rush into doing that. I think they want to kind of reflect on the free signings briefly and then look to get some players out the door before they look to move forward again. And you'd imagine with preseason just starting, there's a lot of red tape around several players. Pepe, don't know what's going on there, but you've got to sort out Pepe, Austin Trusty, Balogun, Tavares, Lokonga. Rob Holding, so on and so forth. So maybe Arsenal, take a step backwards, pat themselves on the back for getting the Declan Rice deal over the line, introducing Timber, and obviously getting Kai Havertz, and we focus on outgoings to follow Pablo Marie and Granit Xhaka and a couple of under 23s, under 21 players, people. So we'll have to watch this closely, man. The market's just opened, essentially. Moving on in relation to João Cancelo, reports out of Germany are saying that we're interested in signing Cancelo from City, and you would have seen some journalists in the video I covered yesterday saying potentially a swap deal concerning an Arsenal player and Manchester City. Romano has said Arsenal have always monitored them, in brackets, Cancelo and Hendricks. We've always mentioned Cancelo as a player appreciated by Arsenal, but at the moment, I think with Timber, their idea is to cover the right back and centre back positions. He's a very versatile player that Mikel Arteta loves to have in the squad. So this is the idea, people. So we'll have to see. Lavia seems to be the other name that's aggressively linked with Arsenal if your name is not Kai Havertz, Declan Rice and Timber. Romano's also said, honestly, at the moment, all these names are not something concrete for Arsenal. With Rafinha, but also with others, it's not something they are concretely working on right now. So the situation is very quiet. I think it's really important to remind that now the focus is on Timber and Rice, because these are two very expensive deals, more so Declan Rice in the grand scheme of things. Another day, another Balogun linked to another club. He's been once again linked with Leipzig. Apparently, Lens have rejected an offer for a forward from Leipzig, and that could have a knock-on effect, people, really and truly, where Balogun's concerned. Again, it doesn't really mention the transfer fee, but as we know, he's been linked with Chelsea, Leipzig, Manchester City, Inter and AC Milan, Juventus, Napoli, West Ham, Brighton, Crystal Palace. Again, a whole bunch of clubs are interested. Whether somebody offers is another thing. Ryan Taylor has said they are looking at him. From what I understand, I've had conversations about Balogun's future. There are a lot of clubs informed on his situation. Hopefully he gets the chance to impress in pre-season and force a way into Arteta's squad. Palace are one, Inter, Monaco, Marseille, Leipzig, AC Milan. But I think ultimately the price tag's going to prove complicated for a lot of these clubs, because Arsenal know he's a really talented player, contracted until 2025. Once again, people, allegedly, reportedly, he's been placed on the transfer list for Arsenal, despite now becoming a full American international and obviously impressing in France last season. A loan has been ruled out, so it's either he gets an opportunity or he looks to move on. Maybe he gets the first 6 months and then we revisit it in January. I'm not too sure. Dean Jones has been speaking in relation to Tchouaméni, which I'm sure a lot of you, like myself, would love the Real Madrid centre midfielder. Probably a myth. I mean, in terms of Tchouaméni, I find it hard to believe that Arsenal could afford a deal like that on the back of what they've just had to be able to do to afford Declan Rice. The way that the cash flow is working at the moment, it's unlikely you can just knock on the door at Real Madrid and propose to take one of the youngsters off them that you're playing over 6 years or something. For some clubs, yeah, that works, that's feasible. But at Real Madrid, I'm not too sure. I mean, Tchouaméni would be an elite signing and a further curtain raiser to follow Declan Rice. Apparently, Gabriel Jesus wants more credit, people. Allegedly, Football Transfers has said he is dissatisfied with how he's portrayed in the English media. We're told that the former Manchester City star feels that he is not receiving the credit he deserves for his performances. As long as Mikel Arteta, the players, the fans, and everyone connected to Arsenal care Gabriel Jesus, then I don't think the rest do. The Brazilian player who was instrumental for Mikel Arteta's side at the beginning of last season believes that his contributions have been overlooked. As you know, he showcased his exceptional skills, I would say his work rate and goal-scoring prowess, before an unfortunate injury halted his progress. Despite impressive performances, the striker feels disrespected, believing pundits, media outlets, and even a section of Arsenal's own fan base have been unfairly critical. Get used to it, Gabriel Jesus. You're not the first and you won't be the last one, people. Apparently, he suspects a perceived bias towards Manchester City within the media circles may be contributing to that factor. Who knows? Allegedly, Kylian Mbappe will rather join Arsenal if he moves to the Premier League. Would love to see that happen, but the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Ivan Fresneda, who's just been relegated with Real Valladolid, has a £20 million release clause and is currently at the Under-19s Championship with Spain. Rumours have gone full circle because it seems like we're back on the chase. I don't know, with the introduction of Timber, who can play centre back and right back, to go with Benjamin White, and also the luxury of Tomiyasu, means we'll spend 20 million euros on the talented young Spaniard. But we'll have to see how this develops. But for what it's worth, Ben Jacobs has said, people, that we're interested in him. And again, you have heard in the last few months we've been interested, and he's actually said he's got an admiration for Mikel Arteta's side. Arsenal will look at the right back position this summer. So this is old comments, really, to add a bit of depth and their plan for the long term. Arsenal's priority remains Ivan Fresneda, which in hindsight you've seen Timber. So do these these journalists really know anything, who they tried to sign in January. Fresnadar opted to stay at Valladolid until the end of the season, despite offers from both the Gunners and Borussia Dortmund. His agent actually said up to 30 clubs had made inquiries for the 18-year-old, and Newcastle were tracking them. Since then, obviously, in the last few days and weeks, people, we've been relinked with him. I'm not too sure if there's any credibility there. We've obviously spoken about this already, people. We know we had an interest in Simikan of Leipzig. Obviously, we've then changed minds. But for what it's worth, Romano said Simikan has previously reported he was one of the names on Arsenal's list in defence this summer, but Arsenal instead ended up signing Timber. So I think they're fine with him. I don't see another movement in that position. Honestly, the situation for Simikan is now quiet, and also Leipzig already made big money with the sale of Szoboszlai, who's obviously joined Liverpool, as some of you would have seen, people. In relation to bringing in an attacking player, Romano has said, honestly, at the moment, all these names are not something concrete for Arsenal, with Rafinha, but also with others. It's not something they are concretely working on right now. So the situation is very quiet. I think it's really important to remind that now the focus is on Timber and Rice, because they are two very expensive deals. So I think we've actually covered that already. Moving away with that, Timber's actually also been spotted back at Ajax watching a friendly, as his move to Arsenal, not Manchester United, gears close to completion. Previously linked with Man United, is rejected by Munich. Again, obviously, we hope to have him at some point for the German tour. Probably more of a focus on him being involved in America, where we play Manchester United, Barcelona, and also MLS All-Stars. And when we come back, we've got Monaco in the Emirates Cup, and we've also got the Community Shield. So we'd love every player available to be selected by Arteta. In relation to Lavia, Ryan Taylor said, as we know, Liverpool were there as well. And again, my understanding of Lavia is the price tag needs to drop. I don't think any of those parties are prepared to pay 45 to 50 million for him, particularly after Southampton's relegation. So I do believe Arsenal will make a second midfield signing, and I also expect Partey to make way. What they expect and what actually happens are two different things, but who knows? Arsenal will now have to pay 35 million to sign 22-year-old. He's just got new agents. This is in relation to the future of Jeremy Frimpong, people. Romano has said he has new agents now, or better to say that his original agents parted with new agents. So this is what's going on. From what I'm hearing, this is an expensive player. So this summer, because I'm told Leverkusen would start negotiations only from 35 million. So there was a big opportunity in January, as they were happy with 20 to 25 million. Now it's around 35, so it's way more expensive. I think this is difficult, but Frimpong is prepared to make his move, and the priority for Frimpong is to go to the Premier League. Previously linked with Man United, still linked with Man United. So let's see if some clubs will put the money on the table, but at the moment not. But let's see. Think Arsenal can close that one day. Shut, people. We've already read that. Obviously, for some of you that wanted Sergei Milinkovic-Savic at the Emirates, you know, he seems to be moving on a move to the Middle East. 1 minute he's linked with Juventus aggressively, then he's linked with a move to the Middle East. So we'll have to watch that one there very closely. Should we see what Goal.com is saying in relation to Arsenal, people? Just to wrap this up. Oh, almost flopping this. Oh, big up Perisic. Pulisic better yet for going over there, but can't say that's of use to us. Where's the transfer column? Apparently, what's Caicedo said? He's opened up on his future. He hasn't ruled out the possibility of leaving Brighton, as we know. He has said it's a very good emotion. What guy wouldn't want them to be talking about him? I think this is his agent, I believe. I know how to handle it. I don't get carried away by emotions. I'm enjoying my time with my family for now. There's pressure, but I'm calm. I'm waiting for whatever God decides. He knows what's best for me. That's in relation to Caicedo, and that's actually Caicedo. I got confused there. So we'll have to see exactly what is being said there. But I want the transfer column just to see if there's anything else concerning Arsenal Football Club. There it is. Don't know why, but I'm going to have to bring it up on this. There's a will, there's a way. Smash the like button. As we know, Saliba has signed a new 4-year deal at the Emirates with no option of a 5th year. Granit Xhaka has joined Bayern Leverkusen. Reece Nelson has signed a deal. We're getting ever closer to confirming the signing of Declan Rice, and we're closing in also on Timber. Mbappe would prefer a move to Arsenal if he does join the Premier League. I'm not too sure on that. Pablo Mari's left. Arda Güler's joined Real Madrid, so that one's there is dead. And it doesn't, we know we admire Lavia along with a whole host of Premier League clubs. Balogun's got a price tag of anything from 50 million to 35 million. Partey's been linked with moves to Italy and Saudi Arabia. So we'll have to watch these things closely. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Don't forget to comment. Leave a comment when this video premieres, or also in the comment section after. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and the rest of it. Ultimately, people, stay blessed, stay safe, and we'll link up again soon.
Always just that active red flag, defending.
I think it's like